Hello, this is Dr. Albert. I am the Program Director of the Veterinary Technology Program at Middlesex Community College, and this is an overview of our program as well as information needed to apply to the program and a little bit about the application process itself. You can find my contact information at the bottom of this screen as well as on our website. Other contacts for our program are Amy Levensaler. She is our licensed veterinary technician who handles the clinical side of our program. And Yara Zerlinka is our guided pathways advisor, and she is helpful in determining if you have all your prerequisites and helping you enroll in the appropriate classes that are needed. So today's presentation will give you an overview of the veterinary profession and the different parts of the veterinary team. We'll go over our program as well as what it means to be a selective admissions program. I'll discuss the prerequisites that are needed for our program and talk about veterinary technology as a career in general and why we'd like you to choose our program. And then again, a little bit about the application itself. So first off, the veterinarian, like myself, is solely responsible for diagnosing patients and prescribing medications as well as performing surgery. So the veterinarian is ultimately responsible for overseeing the patient care, determining what they need, what their care is, and the outcome of that treatment and program. Typically, it involves 8 years of higher education, 4 years of undergraduate college. Most graduates end up with a Bachelor of Science degree, usually in pre-vet, biology, or some other science type program. And then 4 years of veterinary school. And then students after graduating can go right into practice. Some graduates decide to do an internship to get more detailed experience in an area of interest, such as dermatology, ophthalmology, general practice, or emergency and critical care. After that, graduates may decide to go on to specialize and do a residency, which is usually about 3 years, and that is to become more of an expert in a particular area like neurology or surgery, pathology, dermatology, ophthalmology, pretty much anything you can think of. Cost for vet school ranges from $150,000 to $200,000. Currently, the average debt of a veterinary student graduating is about $183,000. So there is significant debt incurred, unfortunately, with the vet school path. Veterinarians typically make on average about $109,000 per year, with new graduates making less than that, but average is about $109,000. I do want to point out here that this veterinary technician program is not a direct path to veterinary school. The courses that you would take in our program do not transfer to vet school. Some of the prerequisites, like the biology and chemistry, English, that type of thing, certainly would transfer to the undergraduate program, but none of these fulfill any of the requirements for vet school itself. It is a great path if you're not sure if that's what you want to do and you want to explore the occupation a little bit further. Then becoming a veterinary technician is a great way to get experience and more knowledge about the profession in general. But it's, again, just not a direct path. We have had some students start in the vet tech program and decide they want to go for being a veterinarian and then transfer out to a 4-year university. So veterinary technology itself, you can think of vet techs as nurses. They are primarily involved with the patient care. They have many, many key roles in the hospital. I wouldn't be able to do what I do as a practicing veterinarian without good veterinary technicians supporting me. Veterinary technicians are responsible for acquiring radiographs or x-rays of patients. They do a lot of laboratory testing, so testing the blood, the urine, the stool of patients. They induce and maintain and monitor anesthesia of our patients that are undergoing procedures. They can assist in surgery and they prepare the patient for surgery with the clipping and sterilization of the surgical area. And they're highly involved in the postoperative period in recovering and monitoring the patient. Our technicians do dental cleaning, so they're also like dental hygienists. They clean teeth and get the dental x-rays. They dispense from the pharmacy, so the doctor will prescribe medications for a patient, and it's the veterinary technician that will get that medication ready, get it all labeled up, and go over it with the clients. They'll discuss the purpose of the medication as well as side effects to look for. So as you can see, the veterinary technician has a lot of different roles and responsibilities. We do have to deal with the clients because the patients do not come in on their own. So a big part of being a veterinary technician is client communication and education, which is very important. Veterinary technicians are employed mostly in veterinary practices, but they can also be employed in biomedical research facilities, zoos and aquariums, wildlife rehabilitation facilities, pharmaceutical companies like Pfizer here in Connecticut. Anywhere that there is animal care, there's typically a role for veterinary technicians. It is a very physical job. We do a lot of crawling around on the floor. If we work with small animals, we get, kicked and scratched. Large animal vet techs have to be concerned with working around large animals, some of which don't appreciate human interaction. So it can be quite physical. Ideal veterinary technician candidates remain calm under pressure and can really control their emotions. We have some, as you can imagine, some very sad situations or some very upsetting situations, and a veterinary technician needs to remain professional and keep emotions under control. There are also veterinary assistants as part of the veterinary team. The assistant is more of an entry-level position and then often receive on-the-job training, but we do have a certificate program at Middlesex Community College where you learn the basics of animal handling and care. So veterinary assistants primarily assist the veterinary technician and the veterinarian with patient restraint, preparing rooms, and some basic animal care. So an overview of our program. The veterinary technician program at Middlesex Community College is a full-time 2-year program with selective admission. We only accept up to 24 students each year, and the students move through the program together as a cohort, which is great because we get to know you very well, the students get to know each other very well, and move through prescribed set of courses in a particular order. Our program starts every fall semester. We are accredited by the American Veterinary Medical Association's Committee on Veterinary Technician Education and Activities, shortened as the CVTEA. This means that we follow a lot of rules to become accredited. We get inspected. The accreditors want to make sure that we maintain a certain quality, and standard of education for our students. So that involves having support from the college itself, support from our clinical partners like Piper Veterinary, maintaining appropriate facilities, and getting our students the experience that they need to become very well educated graduates. Our graduates earn an associate in science degree, and then they are eligible to take the veterinary technician national exam, which is required to become a licensed or certified veterinary technician. So what does selective admissions mean? It means that we have a little bit of extra material for your application. So to apply to the community college in general, you just need your basic high school transcripts, immunizations, and and those typical things. We have additional requirements, which are 2 letters of recommendation. We would like a personal or academic letter of recommendation from a high school or college teacher, ideally, and a professional recommendation from an employer, supervisor, and ideally this would come from someone in an animal profession if you are volunteering at a rescue organization or a humane society, or if you already work in a veterinary clinic, then a recommendation from that type of person would be fantastic. We also require a personal statement or answers to essay questions. I will say right now this is a new application process for us, and there was a little glitch with the essay questions getting into the application. So there are 5 to 6 questions in there that should be embedded into the application instead of you having to upload any type of documents. So just keep an eye out on that, and once it gets corrected, if you've already submitted an essay upload, you'll just be contacted by our admissions specialist to just help you with anything that might need to be corrected. Our application process may include an interview. We typically do get more applicants for spots that we have in our class. So sometimes when it boils down to the last few applicants and it's difficult to decide, we may request an interview to just get to know you better and ask a few more questions of you. So you may or may not be asked to do an interview. In the past, we interviewed all the applicants. So that may or may not happen with this application process. The application deadline is February 1st, 2023 for the fall 2023 new cohort. This is different for those of you that have followed our program before. Has been moved up much earlier than you might be used to. So just keep that in mind and start your application right away. Acceptance into our program is limited to that 24, so it is not guaranteed. The application takes time to get transcripts and things like that, so please do not procrastinate. If you want to apply for fall of 2023, I would start the application right now. So the prerequisites that are needed in order to even apply to our program are listed below. So we do request a GPA of 2.7 or higher. You certainly can apply with a lower GPA. We just find that our successful students typically have a higher GPA. You can take the prerequisites at the Middlesex campus or any local community college, and then we can transfer the credits. We have some students that already have college degrees, and we can transfer those. Our specific requirements are Biology 121, which is general biology, Chemistry 111, concepts of chemistry, English 101, and Math 137, which is intermediate algebra or higher. You can be exempt from the English and math requirements if you have satisfactory SAT or ACT scores. Submitting your SAT or ACT scores is optional, but will never hurt you and potentially could help you place out some of these prerequisites. We do accept AP scores of 3 or higher, so if you have that for biology, chemistry, English, or math, definitely submit those and you might be exempt from those prerequisites as well. It is important, however, if you already have some college under your belt, that biology and chemistry have been taken within the past 5 years. If you already have a degree or an older student and took bio and chem many years ago, 10 years ago, you will have to retake those. Those are fields that change very quickly, so we need you to have the most up-to-date information from those subject areas. We do require that you have earned a C or better in all of your prerequisites. So if you have a C- in bio, unfortunately, you'll need to retake that. There is a new requirement for new college students to take a College Career Success course, CCS 101. If you already have at least 24 college credits, you are exempt from that requirement. Most students will take this within their first 9 college credits or so. So we definitely recommend you take that along with your prerequisites, because once you are in the program, there's really no room for those for you to take the CCS 101 course. There is a veterinary course, Vet 101, which is Introduction to Veterinary Technology, that can be taken prior to admission. You do not have to already be accepted into the vet tech program to take this. It is only given at Middlesex, Northwestern, and Norwalk colleges, so you certainly don't have to take it from Middlesex Community College, but you can, and you can take that before you even get into the program. A lot of students will do that along with their prerequisites. Also gives you an overview of the profession, so you can decide if indeed you do want to go ahead and apply for our vet tech program. So a couple different starting points. If you are in high school and likely graduating in June, you will have to apply to the Connecticut State Community College as a general studies major and get signed up for the prerequisites. Of course, we can assess your SAT scores and things like that to see if you are exempt from any of the prerequisites. We can look at any AP scores you have. Otherwise, you just need to get enrolled in the Connecticut State Community College and start taking your prerequisites. If you are in college or already have college credits, you can submit unofficial transcripts to Yara Zelinka for review to see what prerequisites or electives you may have already fulfilled. And you will need to eventually submit your official transcripts with your application, however. If you are already in the community college system, we can do that for you. We can get those grades for you. If you need some missing prerequisites or want to sign up to get some of the electives out of the way, you can go ahead and register for those at any Connecticut Community College campus. There's just a little bit of a difference if you need to take classes in the spring versus if you just want to apply for our program in the fall. But again, if you think you'll be ready to apply for for fall of 2023, you need to get your application in by February 1st. Prerequisites can be in progress the spring before the fall entry date. So some of you that have the prerequisites but just need a couple to take this coming spring, that's okay. If they are in progress, we will just request a midterm grade report, and any offer of admission is contingent upon you passing those classes with at least a C. If you need to do that, if you need to take some of the prerequisites this spring, I wanted to show you, you will have to apply here on this is on our website for future students. You will need to apply to the spring 2023 application right here, because that will still technically be Middlesex Community College. In July, we are going to be merging and becoming Connecticut State Community College, in which case then you will need to apply for this fall 2023 application, which is where you would apply for our vet tech program. I'm sorry, that's a little bit confusing. If you need help with that, just give us a call. So basically, if you need courses this spring at the community colleges, you will apply along this link, Spring 2023 application. Anything after that, you go to the Fall 2023 application for us. Or certainly if you want to do any of these in the summer, you can do that, but they cannot be applied to, you cannot be in progress on prerequisites in the summer. So basically it's spring, or you have to wait a whole nother year. Sorry if that was confusing. Financial aid is available. You can contact the financial aid office directly. We do recommend that everyone fill out the FAFSA form. You can also receive, if you haven't had any college already, and if you are a Connecticut high school student, you can apply for free community college. You do need to do your FAFSA first, and they'll be determine if there is any eligibility, any discrepancy will be picked up by the PACT program, so you can get free community college. The Middlesex Community College Foundation also manages 3 veterinary technician scholarships for us. So financial aid is available, and to find out more about the PACT program, you can look at our website or go to ct.edu/PACT. That PACT stands for Pledge to Advance Connecticut. So the application overall, you need to submit your high school diploma or GED and transcripts. You will need to upload immunization documentations for measles, mumps, rubella, and varicella. Then you will complete the Connecticut State Community College application. You will see within there you'll need to select an area of study. You would select nursing and health careers. Then it will ask you what program, and you will select veterinary technology. MX is for the MxCC campus. You will notice there are 2 other veterinary technology programs in the state. You have to pick one. You cannot apply to all 3 at the same time. However, if you don't get into one, if there is space in another program, you will be directed to that program and evaluated for admission there. We will need a midterm grade report if you are in progress of taking prerequisites in the spring of 2023. And we will need official college and university transcripts of those prerequisites or any college that you've had, so we can see if it fulfills some of the electives that we require. Again, we have a selective admission, so you will need to answer the personal essay questions that will be embedded within the application. You'll need to submit 2 letters of recommendation from teachers or supervisors. Those again are within the application where your references will be directly emailed the questions that they are to answer, and they will return those directly to us. So you don't have to worry about submitting actual letters or anything like that. Animal care experience is supportive but not required. We have had students that have never had even a pet that apply, but we get you all the experience that you need. So it is helpful but is not required. Once you are in, so hopefully you get all your application materials in, and we review your application, and we offer you an offer of admission. So then what we do is have a new student orientation at the end of spring semester where we assist you in registering for your vet tech courses in the fall. We go over a vet tech handbook with you and give you information on getting rabies vaccinated. So we do require rabies vaccination. It is part of our accreditation requirements. So we will give you information on becoming rabies vaccinated over the summer before school begins in the fall. We will also discuss the various school resources that are available to you, and we often have a welcome picnic in August before classes get started. So a little overview of what the 2 years will look like. Your first semester as a vet tech student is where we cover a lot of the basics first to get everybody on the same page. Some people come in with a lot of experience and some don't, so we start with the basics for everyone. So you will have a veterinary terminology and medical math class where we essentially teach you the scientific terms for a lot of the medical and anatomical parts of veterinary medicine. So just to get you the more official terminology. The Introduction to Animal Care course is where we teach you the basics of handling an animal care. There are 3 hands-on sessions there where you will learn various restraint techniques on dogs and cats. There's another one where you will learn how to handle halter and lead horses, and another where you will learn how to handle exotic animals like reptiles, birds, rabbits, ferrets, guinea pigs, that type of thing. So it's a very, basic. Here you learn the breeds, you learn their various husbandry issues, how to take care of them in that class. So it's a nice basic, get everybody on the same page course. Introduction to Vet Tech is the one I mentioned previously that you don't have to be in our program in order to take, but once you are in our program, you do have to take it. And it's a nice overall introduction to veterinary technology, including animal care, nutrition, health. So a nice broad overview of Vet Tech. Vet office management and communication is very important. Many of our veterinary technicians do have some degree of front office work with communication with the clients, learning the computer systems where the medical records are kept, learning various laws and legal requirements for maintaining records and things like that. So another very important class. And then veterinary anatomy and physiology is a big year-long course, and the first half of it is your first semester where you learn anatomy and physiology, basically how the organ systems work. You identify muscles and arteries and heart chambers and that whole overview of how the body works. What's different in veterinary medicine is we have more than one species to worry about. If you were in a human A&P lab, you just have to worry about the human body, but we have to learn anatomy and physiology of birds and reptiles and cows, cats and dogs. So it's a little bit more involved in the veterinary world. Your second semester, you start with more of your hands-on. The small animal veterinary technology with lab course is where you have lecture twice a week, and then once a week you have hands-on instruction with live animals, dogs and cats, where you will learn how to give injections, learn how to draw blood, learn how to clean the ears, treat the eyes, administer medications, a lot of that basic animal care, but hands-on. We do have a lot of training mannequins that you practice on first before we let you handle the live animals for those things. But we do kind of a vaccine clinic associated with that to get you the real life experience. There's also similarly a large animal veterinary technology lab. You can see the students on the right are learning procedures on some dairy cows. So we do go out to various farms and practice procedures on them, how to restrain them, how to draw blood, how to give injections, and that is also paired with a lecture component. Then you have your second portion of the anatomy and physiology lab where you continue to learn about the body systems. One of the first really tough classes is Principles of Pharmacology for veterinary technicians, where you start to learn about all of the medications that we use in animals. So antibiotics, anesthetics, different things like that. So that's does tend to be a tough course, a lot of memorization. If you haven't already been in a vet clinic, it's a lot of just new terms, learning all the different drugs and their side effects and their dosaging. So it's a pretty intense class, but a lot of fun too, because you get a lot of information out of it. We call it our third semester, but it is over the summer where you start your first of 2 externship programs. So this is our smaller externship program, which is 40 hours, where we will assign you, or, with talking to you about your interests, to one of 5 of the Piper Veterinary locations. Piper Veterinary is our clinical partner, and they provide us with your clinical experience. Our main location is on Berlin Street in Middletown, which is where we have a classroom and some of our clinical space, but it is also a functioning veterinary clinic. Randolph Road also has the ER and their general practice in that facility, and they also have a practice in East Haddam and Essex. So that first summer, you need to complete 40 hours at one of those facilities, and you will practice in real life what you just learned in your semester previously. So giving injections, restraining animals, answering phones, getting IV fluids together, preparing medications for clients. So you get to put into use what you just learned the semester before in a real life working veterinary clinic. The second fall, you will start with a lot more technical courses. Veterinary lab procedures is where you learn how to run the various diagnostic testing, such as blood work, urinalysis, stool samples, and how those tests work and what they mean. You will also have principles of imaging, where you learn how to position animals for x-rays for the veterinarian. So you learn how to position them on the table, you learn how x-rays are made, and we also talk about CT, MRI, and ultrasound. Veterinary anesthesia and surgical nursing is the big one this semester, where you have 3-hour lecture to give you the basic information about anesthesia and nursing. And then you will have 8 hours during the week where you will be doing these things hands-on. So it's split where you might be in the morning doing surgery, anesthetizing a patient and monitoring anesthesia, or assisting in surgery, and the other part of the day you're doing x-rays or running lab work. So this is where you get a huge amount of your hands-on learning in this vet anesthesia and surgical nursing course. The 2031 is that combination hands-on course where we divide the class into 3 groups, and you come in either Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday for that 8 hours, and you'll either be doing surgery, lab procedures, x-rays, or a little bit of everything. We have some placeholders here to remind everyone that we do have 2 required electives in arts and humanities or social and behavioral sciences. So this is often a place where students have room to take those if they have not taken them already along with their prerequisites. Some students decide to get them out of the way while they're doing their prerequisites so they don't have to worry about them later. So they can be taken anytime as long as they're taken before you graduate. And again, for students that already have college degrees or some college, we can look at those transcripts and see if you've already taken something that would fulfill one of those electives. The last semester is very busy, so no slacking off here. We have a veterinary microbiology and immunology course for you. So we used to give you the general microbiology course, but we have now tailored it specifically to veterinary medicine. So you will learn important microbiology testing and diagnostics for the veterinary field, as well as different tests and discussion of immunology in that course. We'll do veterinary parasitology, where you learn about all of the internal and external parasites of large and small animals. It can be a little tricky because there are a lot of weird names and ugly little looking creatures, but very important course for maintaining animal health. Animal pathophysiology is a discussion of all of the common animal diseases. So we go over small animal diseases that you commonly see in practice. We do discuss large animal disease and some exotic disease as well, with your like ferrets, rabbits, and rodents and birds. Periodontology and oral radiology is basically dentistry, where you learn how to evaluate and chart teeth, just like our dental hygienists do for us, as well as take dental x-rays. So this is a full semester course where you get hands-on, you get lecture and hands-on training with cleaning teeth and taking x-rays and charting the teeth. During this semester, you also do your very large externship of 200 hours throughout the course of the semester. This can be at any vet clinic that we have an agreement with. So we have 50 or 60 veterinary clinics throughout the state that have agreed to be externship hosts and will guide you through your checklist. And this is where you put it all together, everything you've learned in the previous semesters. And again, you use those skills hands-on in an actual real-life working veterinary clinic situation. So here are some pictures of some of the hands-on experience with our students. Up here on the left, they're working on one of our training mannequins. They're practicing applying bandages. This is on a live patient practicing putting in an IV catheter. Here, students are using a training mannequin to practice CPR. And this bottom left is our classroom. Piper Veterinary built us a brand new classroom, surgery prep and surgery suite, which are very nice. We've been in it fully for the first time this semester. So we have a nice smart board, nice big room. These desks will fold away and the chairs fold away, and we can open these doors and bring in live animals if we need to. So it's a very nice facility that we are excited to have. In these pictures on the left, the students are working on laboratory procedures. They're evaluating blood smear slides. This is one of our training mannequins to listen to heart and respiratory sounds. In the center here, students are learning how to prep for surgery and don a surgical gown and gloves without contaminating themselves so they can go assist in surgery. And here on the right is a picture. This odd looking creature here is a synthetic cadaver called Syndaver, and it is a state-of-the-art training mannequin that mimics a live animal as closely as you can get. So we use it for practicing intubation or putting a tube down the trachea to administer anesthesia. We can use it to practice palpation, giving injections, lots of different uses for that. So it's a very exciting training model for us to have available. So any students accepted to our program will get to use this training device. It's very, very cool. We do have a veterinary technology club, which is the student chapter of the National Association of Veterinary Technicians in America. We do various things throughout the year. It's great to, put on your resume. You can sign up to be an officer. We do an annual pet calendar fundraiser. We do pet treat bake sales, pet food drives, zoo trips, horse grooming. So we try to do lots of activities that increase our knowledge and help the community as well. So we use any funds that we raise for events or special speakers, or we donate to local animal rescues and animal control. After graduation, you now have an associate in science degree, and you can take the veterinary technician national exam and hopefully enjoy a challenging but rewarding career helping pets and their people, and potentially go on to specialize. So as a veterinary technician, you have great prospects for employment. Employment for vet techs is expected to grow through 2030. Practices are very busy right now, and many of them are actively looking for skilled veterinary technicians and are seeking out graduates from our program. In 2021, the salary for Connecticut vet techs was about $44,000. That's the average wage in Connecticut, which is higher than the national median wage for vet techs. So Connecticut is one of the higher paying states for veterinary technicians. Most techs go to work in private or corporate practices, But again, as I mentioned before, you can also be employed in education, public health, government, research, pharmaceuticals, zoos, aquarium. There are lots of opportunities. I mentioned previously that some veterinary technicians elect to specialize. So you can, after a few years of experience, 3 to 5 years of experience, get your veterinary technician specialty designation. This is an opportunity to pursue a passion. If you've developed one, if you decide you really like veterinary dentistry or emergency and critical care, you can focus your employment in those areas and do continuing education in those areas to eventually apply for a technician specialty designation. With that, also typically you get paid more as well because you are then considered a specialist in that area. Our program veterinary technician, Amy Levensaler, has done that. Her specialty is in anesthesia and analgesia. And if you have questions about specializing, she would be able to answer questions as to what is involved with that. So why choose the vet tech program at Middlesex Community College? One of the big things is we're affordable. We are about $12,000. That includes a lot of the program supplies and fees in there for 2 years, so about $6,000 per year. Vet school is $12,000 per semester, so much more affordable than vet school, though does not have the higher salary to go with that. We have near 100% job placement thanks to our externship program. If during your externship you like the clinic that you are working at and they like you, often they will snatch you up after graduation, because essentially they've had a 200-hour working interview of you, so they really know your qualifications and your abilities. So they already know you. A lot of them will just hire you right up. We do have personalized attention. Our class size is limited to 24 students, so we get to know you very well and you get to know us. We have a lot of hands-on learning experiences with our partnerships with the various farms and veterinary hospitals, including Piper Veterinary, our main clinical partner, who participate quite a bit in helping educate our students. We also have a partnership with Yale. As part of your first year spring semester, you do a rotation at Yale where you learn veterinary technology procedures on lab animals such as rodents, mice, rats, and rabbits. It's an important part of veterinary technology and a very strong potential employment opportunity. Our cohort model means that students move through the program together as a group and once again become like a little family and get to know each other very well. We have good community involvement. We have strong partnerships with the animal control facilities in our area and some of the rescues as well. In addition to our program itself, you also have a lot of support from Middlesex Community College on campus. We have an academic success center that can help you with time management, with career coaching. They can review any papers and essays for you for, grammar, sentence structure, that type of thing. That can be very helpful for some of your vet tech papers that you need to do. We have fantastic library services. Our librarians are very helpful with giving you information on how to do proper research and citation. There are fantastic technologic equipment available in the library for making videos if necessary, and some of our projects do require you make a video of yourself. So fantastic resource there. We have a listening lounge if things are getting a bit stressful for you and you have a lot of anxiety. We have a listening lounge which is free, and we have certified therapists that you can talk to if you are having troubles, and it is completely private. Timely care is a 24/7 access to medical and behavioral health care. That is a fantastic resource for our students, especially those that may not have insurance but need care. We have a disability service center that if you need accommodations, such as prolonged testing time or testing in a quiet area or any other accommodations, we can arrange that for you. We have the Magic Food Bus for students that have food insecurity, so that is always stocked with food that students can use to help themselves with food insecurity. If they need to channel funds, towards bills, then we can help you out with food. There is also a veteran support center for any students that are veterans. I want to go back a little bit to this VT&E. We have a high pass rate and support for that national certification exam. Similar to SAT prep courses and sample exams, we do that for you on that last semester. We pay for a program for you to practice doing questions that might be on the VT&E. So we do that throughout the whole last semester, and then we also pay for you to do a full-length sample exam so that you are as prepared as possible for taking the real thing after you graduate. So it's a fantastic resource for our students. So as I mentioned before, as of July 1st, 2023, the 12 Connecticut community colleges will be merged officially into one Connecticut State Community College with 12 campuses. So that does make this little bit of transition period a little bit confusing, but we are happy to help you with any questions that you have. If you are ready to apply to our program, for fall of 2023, you can access that application directly from our page, mxcc.edu/vettech, and you can see the button here where you can directly get to the application from our web page. So if you have any questions or need help specifically about the application, if you're going through it and you're not sure how to answer a question or you're having trouble with something, Mary Beth Banks is our admissions specialist that can help you with any detailed questions. She is able to see your application, whereas I am not able to see it unless you are filling it out with me, at the same time, or with Yara. She has gone through applications with students, in person. But once that's, we're not there, we can't go into your application and see what's what. So Mary Beth can help you with that. A little bit on the application itself if you are ready to start it. So you're going to start with that Connecticut State application. This is for applying into the Vet Tech program. If you need to sign up for courses this spring of 2023, some of those prerequisites, you will need to do the specific MxCC application that I showed a few slides earlier. But if you're ready to get that Vet Tech application started at the same time as your prerequisites, you come into this screen and create your account here. And so you just sign up and follow through and just answer the questions. When it comes to picking area of study, again, you're going to pick nursing and health careers. From the drop-down menu, it'll ask what academic program. From that drop-down menu, you're going to find Vet Tech AS for Associate in Science. And that brings up this yellow box, which shows you all of your requirements. So it shows those prerequisites, the chemistry, English, biology, and math. And then it's also going to tell you you're going to need that personal statement or essay questions, as well as your recommendations and the GPA requirement. So then you can continue on, and it'll ask you if you've completed your requirements or if you will have completed them by the end of the spring of 2023. If yes, you can move on. If no, it will direct you to get registered for those prerequisites. And at that point, someone like Mary Beth might get in touch with you to help help direct you with what you need to sign up for there. If you're a yes, you'll continue to picking which location. So this is where you pick Middlesex, Northwestern, or Norwalk. You have to pick one. Hopefully you're picking Middlesex. And then you pick on the starting term, which right now is fall of 2023. If you're not ready for this year, it'll be fall of 2024. Again, we only admit new classes in the fall. So then you go through, any remainder of the questions and what you need to look for. Once you get those initial questions, you can view your application, and you want to look for, I'm going to go to the next page, supplemental items and documents. So that's where there are some required uploads for you. Social Security number form, your immunization forms will need to be uploaded. So anything with an asterisk you have to complete. Here I circled the personal statement because right now it's in as like an essay upload, but that will be changing to embedded questions right in the application. So you can certainly copy the questions and prepare your answers beforehand and then go in and type those in. You'll need to upload your high school completion proof. And as far as these prerequisites, again, if you're in the community college system, we can upload those for you. If you have those credits outside of the system, you need to upload your transcripts. And this is a manual thing, so this is something Mary Beth will have to fill for you. And again, you can upload your SAT scores if you wish. So then you can continue on. It'll show you these are your references. So your personal or academic reference and your professional reference. So what you do here is hit start, and it'll bring you to a field where you enter the email for the person you want to serve as a reference for you, and it will email them specific questions that we want answers to, and they will send those answers directly back to the application process. So you don't have to worry about chasing down letters of recommendation. They'll submit those automatically to us. So if you have questions, I know it's a lot of information, and I recognize there's some confusing things with this Middlesex and Connecticut State Community College transition. So there might be kinks that come up, but we'll work through them together, and we're happy to help you with whatever you need. So here again are the contacts for me, Janice Albert, the program director, for Yara Zelinka, the Guided Pathways Advisor, and Mary Beth Banks, the Selective Admissions Specialist. So I hope this helped. If you have any questions, please feel free to call or email us at any time. Thank you.